This is a conductor. This end is at one potential called VA. This end is at another potential called VB. Then these are the field lines. These are the field lines which are going from one side to the other side. Current enters at A. Current leaves at B. And we have IA is equal to IB. This is the condition for steady state flow. Condition for steady state flow. And why should it happen? Because charge is not accumulated anywhere. Charge is not accumulated. Okay. Then I is equal to NAEVD. NAEVD at A is equal to NAEVD at B. Why? Because I is equal to NAEVD. That means N is a constant. For a given material, N is a constant. For a given anywhere, universal constant. E is a universal constant. So area into VD at A is equal to area into VD at B. So VDA is greater than VDB. Because here the width is greater, so VDA is greater than VDB. Okay, I hope you are able to understand this. Then flux at A is equal to flux at B. Why? Because field lines are continuous lines. They don't abruptly terminate. Field lines are continuous lines and they do not abruptly terminate. Okay, check the spelling. They do not abruptly terminate. Now phi A is equal to E dot A, that is electric field at A, area of A is equal to electric field at B, area of B. Now area of B is greater than area of A, so what can you infer? That electric field at A is greater than the electric field at B. Electric field at A is greater than the electric field at B. Electric field at A is greater than the electric field at B. So I hope you are able to understand this. Then electric field lines go from high potential to low potential. So VA is greater than VB. Electric field lines go from high potential to low potential. So these are all the statements that you have known. So this is one important point. 1, 2 is one important point. 3 is one important point. All these questions have come in the JEE mains. 4 is one important point. Then 5 is one important point. Do we understand this? Can we make some notes here? So there is no charge accumulation. Only if charge is accumulating, only if there is some charge here, the field lines will change. Otherwise, they won't change. Okay. So these are some very good points. Please make some notes. Okay. So I will just wait. If you understand this, then let's move on. Now I'm taking a straight conductor. Straight conductor means area here is same as the area here. So if area here is same as the area here, then electric field at A will be equal to the electric field at B. Current at A will be equal to the current at B. Drift velocity at A will be equal to the drift velocity at B. But potential at A will be greater than the potential at B because current goes only from high potential to low potential. Then the area at A is equal to the area at B. Okay, then this is a straight conductor, right? So if you understand this, then drift velocity is equal to E into capital E by M into tau, which is equal to E by M into V by L into tau. Now I can say drift velocity per unit field, per unit electric field is E tau by M. This gives me an idea of the mobility. This gives me an idea of mobility. So for mobility to be high, for mobility to be high, tau should be high. Okay, so tau should be high means temperature should be low. Temperature should be low. Okay, so that is when mobility is high. So okay, this we have found out. Then already I explained to you I is equal to NAEVD. Now VD is equal to this much. So that is equal to NAE squared by MV by L tau. Then I said that V is equal to I into R, where R is equal to M by NE squared tau into A by L. Sorry, L by A. I am just rearranging them. I am just rearranging them to say that into L by A. Okay. So if R is equal to this much, then this value here is called rho, resistivity. Resistivity is equal to M by NE squared tau. That is referred to as the resistivity. Okay, you make a note. I'll come back. Just give me a second. I'll come back. Sir, I'll call you back after 2:20. Okay, so rho is equal to M by NE squared tau. So that is equal to the resistivity of the material. In physics, definitions are very, very important. So I will first you make a note of all these things and then I will talk about the resistivity. This is a very important 3-mark question. Okay, here N is the electron density. So this is a mobile charge density. Mobile charge density, or it is the free electron density. Or it is the free electron density. Tau is referred to as the relaxation time. It's the time between successive collisions. Okay, it's a time between successive collisions. That is, the electrons are constantly colliding with each other. So it is the time between two successive collisions of the electron. Both N and tau depend on temperature. Both N and tau depend on temperature. Both N and tau depend on temperature. and they also depend upon the nature of materials, and they also depends on the nature of the material. Say for example, basically materials are classified into three kinds. You have insulators, then you have conductors, then you have in between semiconductors. You have insulators, you have conductors, and then you have semiconductors. Okay, in insulators, the N value is low. That is, the number of mobile charge carriers are very low. In conductors, N value is very high. It could be 10 power 7, 10 power 8, 10 power, more than that also. Okay, so these are conductors. Huh? So per unit volume, it could be 10 power 7, 10 power 8, and even much more than that, 10 power 18. It depends on the value. Different conductors have different values of N. Okay, then semiconductors have low N value, but higher than that of insulators. The N value is very low for insulators. The N value is very high, 10 power 7, 8, 10 power 15, 10 power 20, like that for conductors. For semiconductors, the N value lies between that of insulators and conductors, but it is more towards this. It is more towards this. Okay. So, if I take an insulator or semiconductor, if temperature increases, what will happen is the N value increases significantly. If temperature increases, the N value increases significantly. Okay. So if N value increases significantly, what will happen to the tau value? Tau value decreases, but not as much. Not as much. Okay. I will explain this a little bit more. First, you make some notes. I will explain this a little bit more. See, this is a conductor. Okay, there are a few ends. So these guys are moving around. They are moving randomly. They are moving. So there will be some collisions. Okay. So suppose the N value is equal to 10. Now there will be some tau value, time between two collisions. Now, when you go here, if you increase the temperature, that N value will become 15. So there is a 50% increase in N, but the tau value will not decrease by 50%. Why? Because still there is so much of space here. Still there is so much of space for them to move around. Okay. So for insulators and semiconductors, as temperature increases, N value increases much more than a decrease in tau. The N value increases much more than a decrease in tau. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand this. On the other hand, for conductors, the n value is already high. So if you increase the temperature, the n value does not increase significantly. But what happens is the velocity of electrons increases. The velocity of electrons increases. Okay, so the tau value decreases significantly. Okay, for conductors, the n value is already very high. N value for conductor is 10 power 8, 10 power 10, 10 power 18. I have not told any units to be on the safe side. Okay, so the n value is very high. So by increasing temperature, you won't change the n value much. But because the kinetic energy of the electrons increases, the tau value decreases significantly. Okay, so why am I telling you all this? I am telling you all this because here you have an expression for resistivity m by n e squared tau. So resistivity rho is equal to m by n e squared tau. Now let's see what happens. Suppose I have an insulator. Suppose I have an insulator. Now if temperature increases, what will happen? N value increases significantly. So what will happen to resistivity? Resistivity decreases. Resistivity 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 decreases. If resistivity decreases, conductivity increases. So insulators are better conductors at high temperatures. Okay, because there is no significant no significant change in tau value. Tau value is the time between collisions. So this is the story for an insulator. Okay, then if you have a conductor, if temperature increases, tau value decreases. No significant change in n value. Okay, so if the tau value decreases, what will happen to resistivity? Resistivity will increase. Resistivity will increase. Do you understand? That means conductors have positive thermal coefficient of resistance and resistivity. That means if temperature increases, resistance increases. What is this? That what is this? I'm saying that conductors have positive thermal coefficient of resistance. As temperature increases, resistance increases. This is true for conductors. In case of insulators, as temperature increases, resistance decreases. So insulators have a negative coefficient, a negative thermal coefficient of resistance. That means if I have temperature on the x-axis and resistivity or resistance on the y-axis, for conductors it is like this. If I have temperature on the x-axis and if I have resistance on the y-axis or resistivity on the y-axis, for insulators it is like this. Do you understand? So this is true for conductors. This is true for insulators. This need not be a straight line. This is a straight line. Why is this a straight line? It has been experimentally proved. This has been experimentally disproved. Very simple. Okay, can you make some notes here? So what we have done is we looked at this whole concept. We looked at this whole concept of resistivity, resistance. Resistance is equal to, we learned that rho L by A in our lower classes. So rho is equal to m by n e squared tau. It is a constant for a given material at a given temperature. That's why it's called a constant. Now, how does this resistivity change? So resistivity changes for different materials. So how does it change? To explain that, I have spoken about three types of materials. All materials can be classified as insulators, conductors, or semiconductors. Okay, then I explained to you how the n value and the tau value changes. Then based on how the n value and tau value changes, I have explained to you what happens for an insulator semiconductor, and I have explained to you what happens for a conductor. So in case of a conductor, the n value is already high. So as temperature increases, the n value does not increase significantly. But as temperature increases, kinetic energy increases. As kinetic energy increases, the velocity of the electrons increases. So the tau value decreases significantly. So the tau value decreases significantly. Okay, so if you have an insulator here, and if you want to look at the resistivity, look for a insulator or semiconductor. If you increase temperature, this value increases. If this value increases, this will decrease. Why? Denominator is increasing. While for a conductor, when you increase the temperature, this value is decreasing. So what will happen to the resistivity? Resistivity will increase. So I say conductors have a positive thermal coefficient of resistance, while insulators have a negative thermal coefficient. That means as temperature increases, resistance decreases. Here, as temperature increases, resistance increases. Okay, so this is a difference between conductors and insulators. Okay, then additionally, how do I know that this is a straight line? We have somebody who did a wonderful experiment for us and then proved to us or demonstrated that it is a straight line. We will go there in a few minutes. Okay, so if you can make notes, we will move on. What I want to communicate, friends, is that all these can be marked up as points. but they need not be mugged up as points. They can be very well understood by proper logic. Okay, so when you are reading physics, try to improve your logic. This logic will help you go ahead. Okay, this logic will help you go ahead. Okay, so if you understand this, okay, then let's move on. So we were talking about resistivity. Resistivity, I mean, understand that R is equal to rho L by A. Resistivity is a constant for a given material at a given temperature. For a given material at a given temperature. Definition of resistivity. Suppose I make L1, suppose I make area 1, then R is equal to rho. That's how 90% of definitions of physics are. So if I make L is equal to 1, A is equal to 1, I'll get R is equal to rho. So what is resistivity? Resistivity, it is the resistance of a wire having unit length and unit cross-sectional area. It is the resistance of a wire having unit length and unit cross-sectional area. Length I made it 1, area I have made it 1. Okay, it is a constant at a given temperature. The unit of resistance is ohm. Okay, unit of resistance is ohm. The unit of resistivity is, this is ohm. So ohm area goes up, L comes down. So it becomes ohm meter. Okay, now resistance is the reciprocal of conductance. So now conductance has a unit which is exactly opposite of it. The unit of conductance is MHO, mho. Okay, so R is equal to rho L by A. Resistance is a scalar quantity. Resistance is a scalar quantity. And like always, whenever we come across any new unit, we want to know what are its dimensions. So here is the question for you. What are the dimensions of resistance? What are the dimensions of resistance? Okay, so you work on it. I will take a rest for a minute. Then I have some messages for me. Sir, but H.C. Verma says that free electrons develop only after the temperature reaches 0 K in semiconductors. I have to check it up, Anirudh. I have no idea. I don't understand, but I don't think it is true. There is something that you are missing. free electrons develop only after the temperature reaches 0 K. I don't know. I have to check up what H.C. Verma is saying. Why does N value increase with increasing temperature? That I will tell you. It will take, it's another story. I will tell you. Is it because of some kind of breakdown? No, not a breakdown. Breakdown doesn't happen in conductors. Breakdown can happen only in insulators. What is this ohm inverse? Ohm inverse, I'm talking about dimensions. Is N constant in conductor or small variable? N is a constant. N is a constant. H.C. Verma, the derivation and the formula of drift velocity is different. My dear friend, follow your NCERT textbook. NCERT textbook is right. I can also give 20 other definitions. Don't worry, you follow your NCERT textbook. Only that is correct, okay? H.C. Verma is wrong because, I mean, with all due respects, if I want to say that I am a great physicist and the world is following me, I want to write something different from what others have written. And that is exactly what he has done. Okay, so please don't go by H.C. Verma. Please go by what is there in the NCERT textbook or read what is there in Resnick and Halliday. Resnick, R-E-S-N-I-C-K. Resnick and Halliday, H-A-L-L-I-D-A-Y. DC Pandey is also like H.C. Verma only. He wants to show that he knows more than the world. Okay, so that is my problem with DC Pandey. All Indian authors' books, mostly I don't like them because of this reason. Okay, another problem I will tell you is they teach physics in a very wrong way. They want to tell you that there are 100 formulas, and if you memorize those 100 formulas, life will be good. I am sorry, if you memorize those 100, first thing is memorizing those 100 formulas itself is very difficult. But that is why I feel that most of us are finding physics difficult. No need for book. NCERT book is the best book. பொறுமையா ஒரு line படிங்க அவ்வளவுதான். That is what is important. Hey, you guys are not answering my question. You are asking me questions. Close. Come back. What are the dimensions of resistance? Okay, first dimensions of resistance எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்கணும்? V is equal to I into R. Okay, V na enna work done per unit charge. Upper work done na enna force ml t power minus 2 into distance. Distance na enna force into distance work done. Work done adikapram by charge. Charge na enna ampere into time. So this is equal to ampere into resistance. Okay, upper resistance or dimension enna varum m inge L square t power minus 3 ampere power minus 2. So this is the dimension of resistance. Okay, and the physical quantity கொடுத்தாலும் அதோட dimensions நீங்க 1 minute 2 minutes குள்ள கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு ட்ரை பண்ணணும். அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்ம ஏதாவது ஒரு ஃபார்முலா கிராப் பண்ணணும். அந்த ஃபார்முலா கிராப் பண்ணிட்டு அந்த குவான்டிட்டி தவிர மிச்ச குவான்டிட்டியோட dimensions எழுதிட்டு cross multiply பண்ணா வந்துரும். So this is how you get it. Okay, so this is how you get it. So I will just take 1 minute. See, you don't have to listen to everything that I say because I am also a human being and I have my own partialities or my own biases. Okay, one, I feel that you read the NCERT textbook thoroughly. Okay, you read the NCERT book thoroughly. After you read the NCERT book, you try to do all the book back questions from NCERT. Then you try to do all the book back from H.C. Verma. Okay, after this also, if you have time, you work out all the book back from DC Pandey. Don't go by too much of theory. People will tell you theory for everything. You don't need so much of theory. Okay, the theory that you learn, the basic theory that you learn are the tools. Okay, if you know how to use the tools, you will be able to do the work. Now, if you, after reading the basic concepts, if you are not able to read, it is because of a lack of thinking. And 90% of the population has this problem. It's not that you are not intelligent. Everybody cannot think about physics. Okay, only few people can think about physics. Physics தேவையும் இல்லை. Even if you become an engineer, அதுக்கப்புறம் physics யாருக்கும் தேவை இல்லை. Okay, but because you are a student, I want to know who is good in physics. அதுக்கு தான் ஒரு physics subject வச்சிருக்கோம். So try your best, work hard. It's a difficult subject, but don't think that you are not able to do because you don't have this book or that book or something. Yeah. Now, personally, if you are asking me, sir, which book have you read? I have read Resnick and Halliday. I have never done this. I have never done this. I have read Resnick and Halliday and I have solved all the book back questions. Okay, I like this book because this book does not give me 100 formulas. This book at the end of it will give me maximum 5 or 10 formulas. But it gives me a lot of concepts. Okay, so what I am teaching you here, half of you would not have understood this, half of you would say it is difficult. And if I take a poll now, 80% will say we don't like sir because he teaches difficult things. But the reason why I have done this is it has come in your exam. I can give you theory also, but there are only 3 theories that you need. One is this, the condition for steady state flow. Why is there steady state? There is steady state because charge is not accumulating. Accumulating na சேர்த்து விடுறது கிடையாது. சார்ஜ் சேர்க்கலைன்னா இந்த இடத்துல சார்ஜ் இல்லை, இந்த இடத்துல சார்ஜ் இருந்தா ஃபீல்ட் லைன்ஸ் அதிகமாகும். ஸோ இந்த கண்டக்டருக்குள்ள எந்த இடத்துலையும் சார்ஜ் அப்படி அக்யூமுலேட் ஆகலை. அப்போ ஃபீல்ட் லைன்ஸ் இங்கே ஒண்ணுதான் இருக்கும். அதுதான் இங்க எழுதியிருக்கேன். இதுதான் உன்னோட எக்ஸாம்லயும் வந்திருக்கு. இது புது பாயிண்ட் கிடையாது. இது நம்ம சொல்லி கொடுக்கறது பேசிக்ஸ். இது எப்பல இருந்து நம்ம ஸ்டார்டிங்ல இருந்து சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேன். கவுஸ் என்ன சொல்லி இருக்காரு, சார்ஜ் இருந்தா ஃபீல்ட் லைன்ஸ் இருக்கும், சார்ஜ் இல்லைன்னா ஃபீல்ட் லைன்ஸ் இருக்காது. புரியுதா? இப்போ ஒரு ஸ்பியர் இங்க இருக்கு, நடுவுல ஒரு சார்ஜ் இருக்குன்னா இங்க இருக்கும், ஃபீல்ட் லைன்ஸ் இருக்கும். இப்போ இங்கேயும் ஃபீல்ட் லைன்ஸ் இருக்கும். இப்போ இங்க ஃபீல்ட் லைன்ஸ் அதிகமா இருந்தா அதுக்கு மீனிங் என்ன, இந்த ஸ்பியர் மேல சார்ஜ் இருக்கு. இதுதான் क्वेश्चन ஜே அட்வான்ஸ்ல வந்திருக்கு லாஸ்ட் இயர். புரியுதா? So I mean what I'm trying to say is that learn the simple theories in physics, don't learn many formulas. It doesn't really help. Okay, சரி. First I hope all of us understand how to find out the dimensions of resistance. Yeah, once you understand how to find the dimensions of resistance, so இது ஃபார்முலா கிடையாது. இது நீங்க எவ்வளோ ஹார்ட் ஒர்க் பண்ணாலும் இந்த ஃபார்முலா உங்களால மனப்பாடு பண்ண முடியாது. நீங்க என்ன தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும்னா how to find the dimensions you should know. இப்போ நான் ஏதாவது ஒரு டைமென்ஷன் கேட்டா you should know how to approach from here, from this step you should know how to come to this step. அதுதான் நான் சொல்ல வரேன். ஓகே, இது வரும். இது கொஞ்சம் நீங்க கொஞ்சம் பேஷண்டா இருக்கணும். The problem is we have to have patience and we have to have lot of okay sir, every day there will be evening class. No, there will not be evening class every day, but you guys missed the class last week. I did one doubt clarification class you guys missed. So if you want to come, I will fix a class. Can you discuss the test questions tomorrow? Yeah, I can discuss the test questions tomorrow. Sir, what do you think about physics wala? I have never gone to physics wala. I don't know, but maybe you are the physics wala. You can make one better than physics wala. So you work, you can make better than physics wala. Okay, no more talking now. Let's come back. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand what we are saying, that I'm talking about resistance. So some small questions for you. Okay, so here is the first question. Sorry, second question. Already I've asked you one question. A wire has a resistance R. Okay, it is pulled. It is pulled to double its length. What is the change in resistivity and R? I have a wire. This has a length L. Okay, it has a resistance R. I have pulled it. And I made it double the length. Okay, I am asking you what is the change what is the new resistivity and the new R. Okay, take 1 minute and work on it. What is the new resistivity and what is the new R? Okay, so if you understand it, you will say resistivity is a constant. For a given material at a given temperature, it is constant. So resistivity does not change. Okay, then what is happening to R? R is equal to rho L by A. So what will happen to L? L will become double. So what will happen to nu R? Nu R will become 2 times R. Okay, you understand this? Okay, if you understand this, take a nice red pen and put one cross. Then tell yourself that volume is the constant. Okay, so my Wi-Fi, I had a problem with my internet. So I am back now. So I was telling you about what happens to the resistance of a wire when it is pulled to double its length. So I was telling you that look, volume is constant. So if length into area is the volume, so if length is becoming 2L, the area has to become by 2. So when I substitute, it will become rho into 2L divided by A by 2. So the 2 goes up and it becomes 4 times R. Okay, so the new resistance becomes 4 times R. So this is an important question from board perspective. Okay, so this is an important question from board perspective. Hope you are able to get it. Okay. Yeah, so if you understand this, then I need to tell you about how does the resistance vary with temperature. How does the resistance of a conductor vary with temperature? Okay, so we will write down R is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha into delta T. Rho is equal to rho 0 into 1 plus alpha delta T. Okay, where R0 and rho 0 are resistance or resistivity at 0 degrees centigrade. Okay, where R0 and R are the resistance at 0 degrees centigrade, then alpha is the thermal coefficient of resistance. Thermal coefficient of resistance or resistivity. Okay, alpha has nothing to do with thermal expansion. Okay, alpha has nothing to do with thermal expansion, where R0 and rho 0 are resistance or resistivity at 0 degrees centigrade, then delta T is the change in temperature. Okay, where delta T is the change in temperature above 0 degrees centigrade. So the kind of question you may get in your board exam is they will say the resistance of a wire is 20 ohms at room temperature at 0 degrees, and they'll ask you what is the resistance at 127 degrees centigrade if alpha is equal to something. So you will have to simply substitute in that formula and then work. Okay, so R is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha delta T. I also want to draw a graph for that. So this is T, this is this, and I have a graph which looks like this. Now this is the value for R0. This is the value for R0. This is 0 degrees centigrade, and the slope of this line is R0 into alpha. I'm saying R is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha delta T. So I have R0 plus R0 alpha delta T. So this R0 alpha is the slope of the line. So this is the question which will come in your board exam. This is very, very important for board exam. One mark question. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand this. Now this is all that I want to teach you today. We will continue from here in the next class. Before that, I was asked a question, why does n value increase? Why does n value increase with temperature? Okay, so I will explain this. These are all theories. This is what I know. Now you can do research tomorrow and you can prove whatever I'm saying is wrong. And of course, the world will believe you. And if I continue to remain a teacher, I will teach whatever you have invented. This is what has been invented as of now or discovered as of now. See, in every material, you have a valency band. VALENCY, valency band. What is this valency band? Valency band is the electrons in the outermost shell. Now we are talking about a band because we are talking about the energy. Now Bohr said that every electron has one fixed energy. Actually, every electron doesn't have one fixed energy, but it has a small band of energy. Okay, now these are the valency electrons. Now in conductors, what happens is that there is another band which is called the conduction band. Or maybe I can change the color. So there's another band called the conduction band, and there is an overlap in conductors. There is an overlap between conduction band and valency band. Basically, conductors are metals, and the metals are electropositive. So those electrons which are there in the outermost shell, they don't need it. So those are the wandering electrons. They don't need it. They are very, very loosely held to the nucleus. So that is why the energy gap between them is low. So that is why there are electrons already present in the conduction band. So if you increase temperature, there is not going to be much change. Okay. On the other hand, in insulators, if this is the valency band, the conduction band is here. There is an energy gap. This energy gap is greater than 3 electron volt. Okay, energy 3 electron volt na ஒரு எலக்ட்ரானுக்கு 3 volt potential கொடுத்தா இங்கல இருந்து அங்க போகும். புரியுதா? So those electrons which are present in the valency band are here. Now suppose you heat them up, some of them will get energy and they'll go here. Now when they go here, they contribute to conduction. So when you increase temperature, the number of electrons in conduction band increases. So conduction increases. So resistance decreases. Do you understand? Now in semiconductors, the gap is smaller. Gap is less than 3 electron volt, of the order of 1.5 electron volt. In silicon, it is approximately this much. So when you heat it up, they'll go more of them will go, and the conduction will increase, right? In metals or in conductors, there's already an overlap. So by changing temperature, not many will go. In insulators, there is a bandwidth, there is an energy gap. Okay, now when you supply it with energy, more of these electrons go from here to there. Now you asked a question, is it similar to dielectric breakdown? Absolutely, it's similar to dielectric breakdown. Dielectrics are insulators, but here it is happening because of temperature. In dielectric breakdown, you had a potential. That potential will pull the electrons from here to here. Potential is also work done per unit charge. There are different ways of giving energy. This is the same energy, ionization energy. Okay, am I clear? To summarize, in metals or in conductors, valency band, VALENCY, valency band and conduction band overlap. Okay, then in insulator, there is a energy gap of 3 electron volt or more. In semiconductor, that energy gap is 1.5 electron volt, around that much. So when you heat, when heat energy is given, electrons will jump from the valency band to the conduction. Few of them. Already there will be few of them. Maybe 10 will be there because you have heated, 20 will come. So you see this has increased 100%. But this is still, there are very few compared to a few million here, a million here. Here there are just a few, right? So this is what it is. Yeah, I hope I am able to explain to you. In case of breakdown, potential pulls electrons from valency band to conduction band. புரியுதா இது? In case of us, what is happening is, it is the thermal energy, and because of thermal energy only diffusion can happen. High concentration moving to low concentration, right? So this is the difference between them. Okay, so there are 3 messages for me. Sir, please show the slides. I will. Sir, is the energy band means from ground to excited state? This is not what Bohr said. It is something in between. So is it that electrons help in conducting only in a specific range? Yes, which is known as the conduction band. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So is the energy band, I hope you are able to understand. Energy band means from ground to the excited state, but this is not that excited state which Bohr said. Bohr said you can go only from 1 to 2. Now they have said no, not only from 1 to 2, you can go somewhere else also in between. Okay, so if I have to show all the slides here, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, oh there are some more. Okay, so see you again tomorrow. Read your textbook, read the NCERT textbook, write your notes, read your notes, work with your notes. Okay, so it is not the number of books, but it is how thoroughly you understand what you are reading. Bye.